Sweet Jesus. What is that? What the f is that?
Hey, accidents happen. How do you think the kids got here?
Alright, so I crashed the car. It's not that bad. I had no idea how to start this video, but here we are. So, I crashed it. I wasn't vlogging, I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to enjoy my car off camera. And I crashed it. Which is cool. It's fine. It's not cool, but it's cool. SLR arm did not like that. My silver's coilover did not like that. My fender didn't like that. My wheel didn't like that. Still holds there, but it's okay. Everything's replaceable, especially this. All we have is a control arm, tie rod, and shock tube, because the rest of the coilover is absolutely fine. It's just this. Then luckily, I have the replacement parts right here. Got a nice new shock tube. I got a nice new control arm. Oh yeah, this center guy, this dude, looks bent, so I got that replacement part as well. And then my fenders, I got new fenders. Well, new to me fenders. Really good condition fenders for cheap. And I got both because if you guys remember, a long time ago, I tapped the green box at Willow Springs. And this tap ended up causing this little bump thing that I hope you can see on camera. We're gonna make the car drivable. We're gonna make it better. The reason I'm replacing the fenders as well is because when I got this car first running with the LS swap, I immediately cut my arches, and I never measured how my wheels stick out with the angle kit. So now with the SLR Ultra arms, I need to see how much poke, so I can see how much I need to fill in with like a body kit or flares, whatever I end up doing. So enough jibber jabbering, let's get started. I need to start by taking this apart and then rebuilding the coilover back together so I can have my hub mounted, so everything else can mount good. Normally I need the hub mounted. It's gonna be hard to do this with one hand, but step one is the hub. Those two bottom bolts and then this top bolt, and it should come right off. Okay. And then sweet, let's rebuild the coilover. Alright, so let me explain kind of game plan on what I'm going to do. So I need to take apart this coilover, obviously, and I need to match it to exactly this side. Alright, so I'll be measuring from that very purple top hat down here. I'll be measuring the height, I'll be measuring the preload, I'll be seeing the little doodads and like how to put it together, because I have all the parts, I just don't know where to go. But yeah, reassemble everything, match it to the passenger side, and it should be a-okay. Everything to make a coilover is right here. I don't know the order too much, so this is what I'm doing. Passenger side, we have the top hat with the little silver knob thing and the little twist thing, little gold thing, and then right under that, I hope you guys can see that, it's a little silver thing, which is this guy. So it's the shock tube inside of this, I think this is this. Yeah, it's just broken off. And then that goes in here, this goes in this. Let's start with that. Obviously, I don't even know why I'm explaining how to put together a coilover. I mean, you're gonna get it assembled when you buy it, but this little saucer looking thing slides on. Then the shock tube goes inside the top hat, and then this nut goes through the top and then tightens. Figured out where that O-ring goes. The O-ring goes inside of this. This tightens in, boom, and then I'm gonna tighten that right there, and then that's where my adjustability goes. I'm gonna hit that with the impact, and that's pretty much the hardest part, and then everything else is just all the locking collars. So cool. I'm gonna stop explaining how to do this. I am gonna explain how I'm gonna get my height the same on both sides. It'll make more sense once I whip out a tape measure, but let me finish this up. You guys are gonna get coilovers assembled anyways. This is just kind of like a rare case where I'm just replacing my broken one, but yeah, see you guys in a bit. We have the coilover in. we have the coilover in. It wasn't too bad once we assembled it. It's all ready to go. Everything's kind of loose right now, which is kind of what we want. I need to get the control arm off, which let's do that right now. Look at this. It still works.
No, it doesn't, man.
We're gonna mount the hub to the coilover so we have everything off my wheel. And then once we do that, we can start working out on installing the new control arm and then getting the tie rod situation sorted. So this piece, it's fine. So the actual spring has like these little cups so metal isn't riding on metal. There's one at the bottom but not at the top, and it might squeak. So I'm actually gonna just undo everything, put this in, and then put it all back together. Simple, let's do it. Okay, so all we had to do, put this like this. Let's go. That's it.
All that.
Just for that. I feel like my arms are actually tired. How do we match preload to height to dampening? Let me show you. The top of this tape measure, at least my tape measure, it's magnetic. And so with it being magnetic, I have to be super careful where I place it. But let me see, I'm gonna get deep in here. So at the top of this coilover, the purple part, that's like never gonna move. That's the same on both sides. I call that 0, right? So that 0 point, I'm gonna put my tape measure up there, and I'm gonna come down and get all my measurements on what I measured before. Now, the spring is preloaded, and I'm counting the top of this silver ring, which is 8 3/8. I'm kind of like pointing at it with the screwdriver, and then my ride height at the base of this, I'm counting 11.5. So it's kind of like that, right? That's kind of how I'm basing on it. And I just literally, I went to the other side and I just matched that. Did it off camera because it's kind of time consuming. But yeah, that's how my preload, I'll pretty much tighten it to where the spring isn't moving anymore. And then after that, I kind of spin it 10 times. Why 10? I don't know. That's just what I've done and it works. And then after that, I'm just messing with dampening to get my soften to hardening right on my suspension. That's just kind of like what I run. The ride height, I obviously base that off my wheel to my fender. It might have to change, honestly, since I have the OEM fenders that are not cut up. I'm gonna try to like not cut them and run that like FD ride height where the wheel pokes out of a stock fender. But anyways, jibber jabbering, that's how I do it. I've explained it in previous videos, but yeah, tape measure, put it on, get your measurements, you're good. Okay, so my boots held on with zip ties. I'm gonna cut the boots off. We're gonna cut both boots off, and then I'm gonna pull that back. Look at that. That is a tie rod. And I'm gonna put a pipe wrench on it. Ouch. There we go. And we're gonna take it off. It's because, look at that. That's not supposed to be like that. And we're gonna slide the boot off. And then we're gonna go put this on the vise to undo all this stuff. And then now we'll work on the tie rods. All right. Dude, this tie rod is, check this out. So this tie rod, this is what it's supposed to look like. And we bent it here. And we bent it up there. We got like some Zorro action, man. The tie rods are different length. This is an E90 tie rod. It's super long, it's great. And the reason I use these E90 tie rods is because a lot of these threads go inside of this and it gives it, you know, how do I explain it? I'm not using like a quarter thread or an inch of thread, like I'm using the entire thing, and that's kind of, I wanted it to be like structurally, you know, sound, structurally good. So we're gonna end up cutting off 3/4 and then retapping 3/4 on this. Zero issues. I put the blade like in between the grooves of the threads. Anyways,
Nice.
very nice. So now we're gonna end up, we cut 3/4, we're gonna tap 3/4 to my Sharpie mark that's over here. and we're just gonna keep tapping away, and yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're retapping some threads. Anyways, retapping, remaking threads. So far, so good. So off camera, the bolt that goes in the subframe, it took me a while to take that off. I had to buy a 22mm socket and then put an extended wrench and get it from like where the headers go. I took that out, and then here's the new one, right? This is a part, this is like where the lollipop goes, center of the control arm. So pop that in, or took that out. We're gonna pop this one in. Now the next step, this bushing on my lollipop, the old one kind of went bad, so I got a new one, threw it in there. Grease is your friend. I have like whatever this O'Reilly's brand Master Pro high temp stuff is. Greased everything up, threw in the bushing first. Now I'm gonna get the control arm, and hopefully I can get like the appropriate angle here. Okay, so now this is held in. This bushing here in the control arm, I'm gonna move that and clock it, like turn it like that, other way. No, there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but so it was normally flat like that, and I'm turning it sideways so it like matches the slope of when this goes in, so it's easier. Like that. I think now that it's there, there we go. Boom. I hope the camera caught that. Just a lot of finessing and twisting and turning and all that jazz, and then that goes there. And then I think this is acting as a spacer, and then I'm gonna bolt that in. Okay, so put in the spacer like that, because then this is gonna come in and bolt in, and you won't have to use as much threads and ooga-doogas. So let's drop this in. These are all 22. Okay, the top part's loose. That's why I started spinning. But yeah, control arm is in. Awesome, dude. Alright, I have to do so much off camera. It's nothing bolts up super easily. So you guys saw how I connected that back point. I connected here, and then from there connects over here, and then the tie rod comes in, plugs in over here. I'm super happy that nothing was bent, everything was straight. It's just the control arm with like those brand new spherical bushings, trying to get that angle right, because if you see, they're not straight, right? They're all kind of pointing in a certain direction. Even over here, they're not straight. So just getting that alignment is weird, but once it goes in, everything's straight. So that means my subframe survived, which is great. I'm happy about it. The heights are all set, everything's tightened, everything's ready to go. I just wish I can drive this thing sometimes. All right, so the car is fixed. It's all ready to go. But as I started installing the OEM fenders that I just got, I started realizing the fitment I have with the Z3M wheels, there's too much poke. There's too much positive, or there's too much negative offset, and I kind of want to switch my whole front setup around. I've also came to the conclusion that I don't want to run OEM fenders with like eBay flares or something. I'm gonna get a body kit, so I'm gonna end up stopping here with the whole fix on the car, just because I don't want to drive it. I don't want to run it without fenders. I don't want to drive it with the way it currently is. I have to start messing around with like wheel setups and stuff, so I'm just gonna stop here. But crashed it, it's unfortunate, but everything's replaceable. It's not a big deal. But anyways, I'm gonna cut the video here. Thank you guys for watching. I know I've been lagging on uploads, but everything's expensive. But thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you guys subscribe, tell your friends. Peace.